3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome back to the Raise Your Banner podcast. I'm your host Josh, and today we'll be talking about the stigma that surrounds mental health. We'll take a look at defining that stigma, and then we'll take a look at ways to break down that stigma. As always, a big thank you for the listeners out there. Couldn't do it without you all. Let's get into this episode. What really is the stigma that surrounds mental health? The stigma refers to the negative attitudes, beliefs, and stereotypes that surround mental health issues and conditions. It often leads to discrimination, misunderstanding, and marginalization of individuals who are dealing with mental health challenges. It can manifest in various places and in different ways, including in society, workplaces, healthcare systems, families, and even within the individuals themselves. For me, the stigma was alive and well throughout the majority of my career in the Navy, pretty much up until the day I retired. For me, it really came in two forms. One, well, if I get mental health treatment, how is it going to affect my job? Am I going to have to change jobs? Am I going to lose this? Am I going to lose that? And two, how are my friends, family going to look at me once I tell them I got mental health treatment? Are they going to think I'm a weaker person? Things along those lines. Probably the two most prevalent ones out there for the majority of us that have mental health issues. And the ironic thing was, after I even sought help and after I really promoted getting mental health to the teams I was in and to peers and family members, that stigma was still there. I mean, I got help, but it still wasn't an easy thing to do. Well, let's talk about some of the key aspects that drive that stigma and why there is a stigma surrounding mental health. Sometimes it's plain old misunderstanding and ignorance. The stigma arises from a lack of understanding about mental health conditions. Many people hold misconceptions about these conditions, leading to fear, bias, and judgment. How many times in your life have you been told to suck it up, the strong don't cry, or don't be weak? I can't tell you how often I've heard these statements throughout my life, whether they were aimed at me or others. They really do come from a place of ignorance, and often from someone who is most likely struggling with mental health themselves. And that is where blaming and shaming comes in. Stigmatizing attitudes blame individuals for their mental health struggles, suggesting that they are weak, lazy, or simply not trying hard enough to overcome their difficulties. This can lead to feelings of shame and guilt for those who are already struggling. If your friend broke their leg, would you tell them they were weak because it wasn't healing fast enough? Or would you let it take its course to heal? We need to have the same mindset when it comes to our mental health. How about labeling? How often do we put labels on people? People often label individuals with mental health conditions, reducing them to their diagnosis and ignoring their personal identity and strengths. Imagine starting a new job and a coworker is telling you about the team. Did you know Lisa suffers from severe anxiety? That is why she is known as the frantic one. Yet Lisa really is the rock that keeps the team together, by not only her work, but her major contributions to the team overall. Yet Lisa is defined by her anxiety, not by her strength as a teammate. We need to make sure as leaders and team members that this type of labeling is not part of the workplace. The stigma of mental health can lead to isolation. Individuals may fear judgment or exclusion from their friends, family, and peers. We need to be aware and mindful of these when we check in on our family, friends, and peers who are battling mental health issues. Mental health is also often inaccurately portrayed in the media. Sensationalizing mental health conditions or depicting individuals with mental health issues as dangerous or unpredictable just perpetuates stereotypes and reinforces this. The stigma can also discourage individuals from seeking the help that they need. They may fear being judged, labeled, or having their confidentiality breached. This delay in seeking treatment can exacerbate their severity of their condition. Stigma can also negatively impact an individual's self-esteem and self-worth. Internalizing the stigma occurs when individuals start believing the negative stereotypes about themselves, which can hinder their recovery process. The stigma can also vary across cultures and can intersect with gender, leading to unique challenges for individuals who already face discrimination due to their cultural background or gender identity. So how do we break through the barrier that is the stigma of mental health? First and foremost, we need to get mental health on the same wavelength as physical health. While the two might not be the same, the care and guidance we seek for both need to be on the same level. Secondly, I would argue that for those of us that have sought mental health, we really need to be its advocates. As hard as it is sometimes for us to talk about it, we need to be on the forefront of talking about potentially our own problems and talking about how much getting help really helped us in the long run. Thirdly, I'd say it comes down to compassion. We really need to be there for each other. Whether it be your friend, your family member, your peer, your best friend, somebody on the street, somebody you don't know, we are all going through some sort of struggle. And sometimes you need somebody to be there for you. And sometimes you need somebody to push you to that next step of getting help. And I think if we can all do that, if we can all support each other in that endeavor, we will break through the stigma that is mental health. Lastly, I'll close with these final thoughts. Efforts to reduce the stigma of mental health involve education, awareness campaigns, and fostering empathy and understanding. Open conversations about mental health can help challenge stereotypes and encourage individuals to seek help when needed. Increasing visibility of individuals who have successfully managed their mental health challenges can also play a role in reducing the stigma. Additionally, policies that protect our rights and promote the well-being of people with mental health conditions are essential to create a more inclusive and accepting society.
Raise your banner if you need help, and raise your banner to let others know you're a safe person to turn to. Until next time, stick around and keep on moving forward. Research conducted by Matrixa Research Group. Artwork created by Jenna Bordinger at jbordingerart.com or at jbordinger_art on Instagram. And music by Josiah Renton, DJ Slowbro.